Social Security is dropping some super important info on Christmas Day for all 75 million beneficiaries, and the very next day it will start showing up in mailboxes. I am going to break down exactly what they are sending out in just a few days, why it matters so much, and why you should definitely keep an eye out for it. I also have an article that I will put on the screen in a second so you can read it yourself and see that this is the real deal. This is about a lot more than just a letter from Social Security. I want to explain the whole picture and why you need to keep this document safe for basically all of 2026, especially with all the rumors about stimulus checks floating around. Let me give you the details. All right, so we are in the middle of December right now. This is actually a really huge time of year because we are getting a ton of new info from Social Security, plus all those new rules we talked about over the last couple of months are finally kicking in. Those were the ones announced back at the end of October. So as we finish up 2025 and move into 2026, there is a lot going on. Actually, let's get this article up on the screen. There we go. Feel free to read along, but I will hit the main points for you. It is kind of interesting they chose this date, but on the 25th, which is Christmas Day, the Social Security Administration is posting your tax forms online in your account. If you live here in the States, you will see Form SSA 1099. If you live outside the country, you will see Form SSA 1042S. Basically, this is the official paperwork the government uses to track exactly how much Social Security paid you in 2025. It proves your income to the IRS. You can grab the digital version online through your account starting on December 25th. Then the very next day, on the 26th, they start sending out the hard copies through the regular mail. You might be wondering why you should even care about some tax form or thinking it does not matter. But honestly, you really need to keep this safe. It is actually super important, and I am going to give you a few solid reasons why you should not just throw it in the trash. First off, let us talk about that $2,000 stimulus check everyone keeps mentioning. We still do not know for sure if or when it is coming, even though the president brings it up a lot. If it does actually get approved, the payments are supposed to go out automatically to most people without you having to do anything. But look back at what happened in 2020 and 2021. While most people saw that money hit their accounts automatically, a lot of folks got left out. Eventually, the IRS said the only way to fix that and get the money was to file a basic tax return. That is why this matters for the possible $2,000 dividend or stimulus check. We do not know for sure if it is happening, but if it does, it is supposed to be automatic. The reality is that glitches happen and some people will definitely get missed. If you are one of them, you will likely need to file taxes to claim what you are owed. Just a quick reminder that I am not a CPA or an accountant, so this is definitely not official tax or legal advice. I do not know the details of your specific finances, so please double-check your own situation before making any moves. The bottom line is that some people will probably have to file a tax return to get that money. It all boils down to your income, since that is the main thing they look at to see if you are eligible. If you turn out to be someone who has to file to claim that stimulus payment the president talks about, those Social Security forms are going to be a lifesaver. You will need Form SSA 1099 or SSA 1042S because they act as proof of income. I am not saying you definitely will need to file, but you should keep the forms just to be safe. Just to be clear, this is not professional accounting advice, since I do not know your personal details. I just really recommend you keep this paper safe when it shows up. Put it in a file cabinet or a safe place and keep it for the next year so you are ready if you need it. Moving on to the next thing. This topic is actually a really big deal, so I am going to put together a full video just about this very soon. If you see me cover this again in a couple of days, that is why. It is important enough that it deserves its own explanation. This affects a specific group of about 3 million people. These are the folks who saw a nice bump in their payments because of the Social Security Fairness Act. That was the big law that got passed back in January of 2025. It was a major victory with a big signing event. That new law officially repealed the government pension offset and the windfall elimination provision. Both of those old restrictions are completely gone now. The 3 million people in this group received some pretty big payouts in 2025, and their regular benefits jumped up starting back in April. Since they got a lot more cash from Social Security than usual, they might be in for a shock at tax time. Honestly, they could face a hefty tax bill that they did not see coming. If you are part of that group, please do not throw away the document you get from Social Security. You are going to need it when you file your federal taxes, and honestly, you will most likely have to file this year. I do not know your specific finances, but you should definitely be prepared just in case. Also, if you do have to file a return, this paper is basically your golden ticket because it proves exactly what you earned. You literally cannot file without it, so make sure you keep it safe. I know a lot of you might look at these papers and think, who cares since I never file a tax return? But honestly, this coming tax season is going to be totally unique. The big reason is that senior deduction of $6,000 to $12,000 that got signed into law during the summer as part of that huge tax bill. Plus, there is the Social Security Fairness Act, which became law in early January of 2025. That gave about 3 million people a serious raise. And we also have that potential $2,000 stimulus payment floating around, which could happen whenever. So the bottom line is that this paperwork is crucial. You really need to keep these tax documents safe, even if you do not think you will use them. It is totally fine if you do not, but at least you will have official proof of your income if it ever comes up. Anytime you need to prove your income over the next year or so, this is the paper you are going to use. It is the official record from Social Security, and the IRS gets a copy too, so it is the real deal. Just a quick heads up, please actually read through it. You want to make sure the numbers make sense and match what you really got paid. It is rare for them to screw this up, but errors do happen. You just want to be sure it is correct. Here is why this is such a big deal. Let us say you only received $12,000 from Social Security back in 2025. But when you check your tax form, that SSA 1099 or SSA 1042S, it lists $36,000. Imagine if for some weird reason they multiplied your income by 3. What would you do then? Here is the scary part. That wrong number goes straight to the IRS. If they think you collected $36,000 when you really only took home $12,000, guess who is going to come knocking? The IRS will be looking for their cut of that money. So seriously, just take a minute to scan through the form. You need to make sure the numbers are legitimate and that they actually match the payments you received during the year. Like I said, it is pretty rare for them to make a mistake like that, but it does happen sometimes. Since this paper goes to the IRS, you want to be 100% sure it is correct. If you find an error, you need to get it fixed right away. I am not saying it will definitely be wrong, but glitches happen. Since this is your money we are talking about, a mistake on this form could turn into a huge headache. That is really all I am trying to warn you about. So if you already have an account set up on the Social Security website, you can check for it on Christmas Day. It is a weird time for them to drop it, but that is the schedule. The paper copies start going out in the mail on the 26th. Everyone should have theirs by January 31st at the latest. Definitely keep an eye out for these forms. You do not actually need an online account to get your benefits, but I always tell people it is a good idea to have one. I personally only log in about 3 times a year just to check on things and make sure it all looks right. It is just super convenient to have all that info right at your fingertips. Social Security is basically on a mission to move everything online right now. It is pretty clear. They do not want people crowding into the local offices if they can avoid it. Their goal is to get all 200 million of us to create an online account. They have been very open about wanting everyone to go digital. So you might as well use the free tools they give you. You technically do not have to sign up since it is not mandatory, but I think it is a really useful resource. It is great because you can access all your info digitally straight from your phone or computer whenever you want. Anyway, I really hope this clears things up for you. I am always trying to help where I can, so seriously drop a comment below if you have questions. I know things are super chaotic right now, so let me know what you need. Happy holidays, everyone. If this is your first time watching, please make sure to subscribe. It is 100% free, and the button is right down below. It also helps a ton if you share this video with friends or family. You can find the share button right next to the subscribe one. Keep watching for more updates because I will keep you posted on everything happening. Stay warm out there because the weather is freezing across the country right now. I will see you guys again really soon. Catch you later.